Hello, I'm Dr. Sri Banerjee, core faculty for the College of Health Sciences and Public Policy at Walden University. And in this video, I'm going to be doing a reading for the equinox that's going on. So the equinox will take place on December the 21st, 2022, and I'm actually reading off on the left. And as of New York City, it's going to be at 5:05 p.m. And so make sure you take note of that. So really big transition. Actually, people from all over the world take note of this where Capricorn rises. And so some of the things that are going on in the astrological realm, of course, Sun is in the Capricorn. That's by definition, but everything else is not defined. So, for instance, Moon in Sagittarius, that's a very important sign to be thinking about, and that's I always call it the Centaur. And so, so to try to understand in the context of where everything is. So Jupiter rules. Sagittarius. And so, in order to see what Jupiter is doing over here on the 10th house, it's very much career-oriented, but then also neighbored by Neptune. So what is interesting is that blocking the way of the midheaven is also Neptune. And I call it a block because what it is that the midheaven is Pisces. So there's some confusion. Neptune rules Pisces, and so there's some confusion that may come about, but also kind of expanding that and understanding what that means in terms of deeper emotions. And that's because Sagittarius is ruled by the moon. So this is the type of thing that is, again, kind of nebulous sort of understanding, especially of in the place of career. But then Neptune also can represent, actually astrologically, Neptune represents the fight between Poseidon and then, in a way, Zeus is Jupiter. And so that fight between the two led to Athena getting the olive branch, and so there's actually kind of a story behind it, and so that makes for an interesting combination there. So again, Jupiter rules Sagittarius, and so that's why all of these individuals are going through kind of a deep sort of understanding and transformation. And Chiron over there in the 10th house is also deeper understanding. Chiron was the wounded healer, and he was not like the other wild centaurs. And so there's a similarity and a commonality of coming to terms with things. And just so you know, Chiron takes about 51 years to go around the chart, and so around the astrological rounding. And so knowing these returns and being able to use these energies in order to understand what is going on is interesting. Again, I want to re-emphasize the Gemini and Mars. This is very interesting. Again, a spark that's needed to try to understand the Airy planet, but it's in the 12th house, which makes it even more kind of a fiery and focus on this 12th house. And so that is more death, rebirth. 8th and 12th houses are those. And so understanding the transformative approach of a fiery planet, which Gemini allows to burn. And then if we look in the planets on the 7th house, you'll see that Mercury is definitely an important instigating sort of place to think about different things. So this is a time not only for festivities, but also time trying to know how the energies will be all through the solstice. So from winter, the winter equinox, and then the summer solstice and the winter solstice. Anyway, so the Mars is something to be looking uh, looking at. And so the ruling planet Mercury is actually very close to that. So astrologically, I think it's also very important to understand where the moon is. And moon is right here, really not only the first house but the second house. So there's a connection between that, the ascendant, and a very sort of emotional transformation too. So when you're thinking about transformation, an emotional, deeper sort, with Mars there, it's good for renewal and making New Year's resolutions, things like that. So I hope this has given you a good synopsis of the winter solstice. Thank you for listening.